Imagine the sun has just gone down, but there are no streetlights, no locked doors, no windows, and definitely no phone torch. The nearest safe building does not exist. Somewhere outside your camp, something can see you far better than you can see it. A lion needs only a fraction of the light you need. A hyena can hear movement you would miss completely. Snakes can disappear into the ground. Crocodiles can become part of the riverbank, and every bush suddenly looks guilty. So how did humans survive the night? The short answer is not that we became better night hunters. We did not. Humans are built mainly for daylight. In darkness, our color vision fades, detail disappears, and our eyes slowly hand the job over to rod cells that are more sensitive but much less precise. Many nocturnal and crepuscular animals have larger light-gathering eyes, more rod-heavy retinas, or a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum. That layer sends unused light through the retina for another chance to be detected. It is also why some animal eyes shine when light hits them at night. Cats are a good example. Research commonly estimates a domestic cat can see in roughly 1/6 of the light a human needs. A wild cat hunting at dusk or at night is not seeing a perfect high-definition movie, but it is receiving a brighter, more useful picture than we are. Owls solve the same problem differently. Their enormous forward-facing eyes collect light, while their hearing helps place prey with frightening accuracy. Hyenas combine strong low-light senses with endurance, powerful jaws, and group behavior. None of these animals needed the night to become bright. They were built to work inside the darkness. Now picture an early human standing beyond the firelight. His spear is useful, but only if he knows where to point it. 10 meters away, a predator may see his outline while he sees 2 glowing dots and a collection of bad possibilities. Alone, he is vulnerable. As a group, the math changes. Humans survive by changing the battlefield. First came sleeping sites. Long before houses, a good sleeping place was a piece of technology. Early hominins probably used different solutions in different places and periods. Trees, caves, rock overhangs, raised or cleared ground, and eventually built shelters. The important part was not comfort. It was reducing the number of directions danger could arrive from. A rock wall behind you means nothing can approach from behind. A cave entrance creates a narrow checkpoint. Sleeping away from a waterhole avoids the place where thirsty animals and ambush predators naturally gather. But a shelter can also become a trap. A deep cave with one entrance is excellent until something larger already owns it. So people had to read tracks, smell, droppings, bones, scratches, and sounds. A safe-looking hole in the rock could be a bedroom, or it could be the historical equivalent of opening a hotel room and finding a lion on the bed. Then there was fire. The oldest widely accepted hearth evidence goes back at least hundreds of thousands of years, with the Smithsonian noting hearths at least 790,000 years old. Fire gave heat and cooked food, but at night it also changed visibility and behavior around a camp. Flames created a bright center, smoke, noise, and a boundary. Many animals preferred not to cross. Fire was not a magical force field. A hungry predator could still approach, and people still had to maintain it. But a controlled flame made humans larger, louder, stranger, and harder to surprise. Keeping that fire alive became its own night shift. Someone had to add wood. Someone had to notice when the embers were fading. Wet weather could ruin the plan. Wind could throw sparks into bedding. Too much light made the people visible from farther away. Too little light gave the darkness back to the predators. The campfire was protection, kitchen, heater, meeting place, and extremely demanding pet, all at once. Fire also changed the hours after sunset. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer groups without electric light show that people do not necessarily fall asleep the moment the sun disappears. Sleep often begins several hours later. Around small fires, people cook, talk, repair tools, tell stories, and plan. That matters because knowledge is another form of night vision. A child who hears where lions usually approach from does not need to discover it alone. A hunter who tells the group that hyenas are calling near the eastern ridge has converted sound into a map. Stories preserve encounters. Rules preserve mistakes. Do not sleep beside the water. Keep food away from bedding. Listen when the dogs change their bark. Do not wander out alone because you heard a noise that sounded almost human. Every warning pass between people turns one person's narrow experience into the whole group's survival equipment. And then comes the cleverest part. Humans did not all need to be fully awake at the same time. Research among Hadza hunter-gatherers found that over 20 days, everyone in the studied group was simultaneously scored as asleep for only 18 minutes in total. Different ages and different natural sleep timings meant that somebody was awake or lightly sleeping through almost the entire night. Researchers call this sentinel-like behavior. It does not necessarily mean a guard stood dramatically with a spear for 8 hours. It means the group's mixed sleep patterns created overlapping awareness. The late sleeper hears the first strange call. A parent wakes when a child moves. An older person rises early and checks the fire. Someone turns over, notices the goats are restless, and listens. One small sound wakes another person, then 3 more, and suddenly the predator is no longer approaching one sleeping animal. It is facing a group of upright humans with voices, fire, stones, and spears. That group response may be our real superpower. A lion is stronger than one human. A hyena's jaws are stronger. An owl sees better in darkness. But a group can throw from several directions, make coordinated noise, protect children in the center, and force a predator to decide whether this meal is worth an eye injury. Predators survive by managing risk too. They do not want a fair fight. An injured hunter may recover with help. An injured predator may starve. Tools extended the safety circle. Spears allowed people to threaten beyond arm's reach. Burning branches moved fire with the group. Stones could be thrown before claws reached the bedding. Thorn barriers and branches could make a rough fence. Food could be hung, covered, moved, or guarded. None of these had to be perfect. Each one only had to make the camp slightly more expensive to attack than the easier prey somewhere else. Humans also became unusually good at reading the dark without relying only on sight. A repeated alarm call from birds. Sudden silence from insects. The direction of a hyena whoop. The smell of smoke moving with the wind. Or livestock shifting together can reveal movement before a person sees it. People learned local night soundscapes the way we learn notification sounds. Most noises meant nothing. The important skill was recognizing the one noise that did not belong. Later, dogs added another sensory layer. The exact history of domestication is complicated, but dogs eventually became camp companions with excellent hearing and smell. A dog does not need to defeat a predator. It only needs to notice it early and make enough noise to wake the humans. In that partnership, the dog supplies the alarm, and the people supply fire, numbers, tools, and food. It is one of the oldest security systems on Earth, and it still barks at absolutely nothing at 3 in the morning just to keep standards high. Not every danger had 4 legs. Cold could kill. Smoke could suffocate. Insects carried disease. Snakes entered bedding. Floodwater rose. Rival humans could approach. Night survival was not one battle against one monster. It was a chain of small decisions: where to stop, where to place the fire, who sleeps near the entrance, where children lie, where food is stored, how much wood remains, and what happens when the rain starts. This is why the question, how did humans survive predators at night, has a surprising answer. We did not evolve cat eyes. We built a brighter patch of world. We did not grow fangs. We made spears. We did not become impossible to surprise. We slept in groups whose different rhythms meant total silence was rare. We turned fear into rules, sound into information, stories into memory, and a campfire into a social center. The predators owned the darkness individually. Humans survived it collectively. So the next time you hear something outside at night and immediately decide it was probably the wind, remember what had to happen for you to feel that relaxed. Hundreds of thousands of years of shelter, fire, cooperation, shared knowledge, watchfulness, and engineering now sit between you and the glowing eyes beyond the trees. We never became the best creature in the dark. We became the creature that could bring its own light, wake its friends, and make the darkness think twice.